GreenSense show is sponsored by CEA Technology, providing a sustainable modular indoor growing system. Visit ceatechn.com to learn more. I'm Robert Colangelo. This is GreenSense, where we bring you eco-innovations that are changing your world. What do you do with all that unusual stuff that you want to get rid of? We all have it. Stuff like old computers, furniture, home entertainment devices, mobile electronics. You feel guilty about throwing it into the trash, but it's not eligible to go into your recycling bin. Today's guest offers Chicagoland's eco-friendly, sustainable solution, the Center for Hard to Recycle Materials. Here to tell us more is Anthony Tindall, the Cook County Department of Environment and Sustainability Solid Waste Coordinator. Anthony, welcome to the GreenSense Show.
Well, thank you so much for having us, Robert. We really appreciate you giving us an opportunity to talk about our new partnership with the South Suburban College and the creation of our Center for Hard to Recycle Materials.
Well, we're happy to have you on the show, so let's get right into it. Why do we need a Center for Hard to Recycle Materials? And what makes these materials you accept hard to recycle?
Great question. So this is a permanent recycling drop-off facility. It's also known as a CHaRM center that's going to help our region divert millions of pounds of waste away from the landfill and water systems. So most of the materials that are coming to this CHaRM center are going to be hard to recycle items that residents either put into the landfill or illegally dump. And so we wanted to create a location for residents who have the lowest recycling rates in the county, predominantly living in the south suburbs. That location where they can dispose of appropriately these sorts of materials that either get illegally dumped or thrown away in the landfill. So these materials that are going to be accepted will actually get repurposed, reused, or recycled. So these include general household recyclable materials. We're talking about all sorts of plastics, papers, cardboard, small metals, things of that nature. But also harder to recycle items, things like electronics and computers and television sets, VCRs, office equipment, also clothing and textiles, small furniture, small appliances. We also will be accepting styrofoam and personal healthcare equipment, things like wheelchairs, scooters, back braces, and things of that nature. Some of these materials will go into what will be sent to homeless shelters and thrift stores. The places that have indicated.
So let me just bet. What makes these hard to recycle?
Most of these items are generally not recyclable if they end up into if they get sent to your normal trash pickup municipal solid waste recycle facility. Most of these items do not end up being recycled if they go into the normal trash bin.
And why is that?
They go directly to the landfill.
Yeah, and why is it that they're hard to recycle?
A lot of the times they get contaminated by other materials that end up on top of or on or in these materials. And so places don't want to reuse or recycle them because they've been highly damaged or contaminated by other sources.
Okay. So when did the center open and where is it located?
It is opened. The grand opening was Earth Day, April the 22nd.
Appropriate.
Yes. And so it's located at the South Suburban College, which is a community college in South Holland, Illinois.
Fantastic. Are there centers like this in other cities around the country, or is this the first?
They're popping up all over the country. This is the first one in Cook County. This is the first one in Cook County. I'm not familiar of a CHaRM center in the state of Illinois other than this. There are smaller recycling drop-off stations, but not as in Illinois, but not as comprehensive as this one.
I'm not familiar with the term CHaRM. What is a CHaRM center?
So it's the Center for Hard to
Oh,
Recycle Materials.
makes sense.
Yes.
So on your website, you have the Green Guard library, and it lists what items and materials are accepted at the center and what are not. What is the website for that so people could check that out?
For more information about our CHaRM Center, please visit us at cookcountyil.gov/CHaRM Center, CHaRM CENTER.
Thank you. Could you give us just a quick short list of the items that you'll take, and more importantly, what you won't take at the CHaRM Center?
Thank you. So we'll be able to accept household recyclable materials, paper and cardboard, plastics, metals, and glass, electronic waste, including computers, accessories, home entertainment items, servers and data centers, mobile devices, office items, and televisions, clothing and textiles, including toys, small furniture and small appliances, coffee tables, desks, end tables, high chairs, kitchen chairs, styrofoam. We will accept foam packaging waste from appliances, furniture, TVs, and electronics, as well as coolers used in food and beverage storage. And then finally, we'll be able to accept personal healthcare equipment, wheelchairs, scooters, crutches, walking sticks, walkers, canes, back braces, as well as bath and shower seats. We're not able to accept other sorts of materials like tires or refrigerators or carpets or other big furniture items. We're not able to accept all those other types of materials right now, but we will be adding to the site over time. So we're going to update if any additions that we're going to add will be listed on our website,
So
cookcountyil.gov CHaRM Center.
well, thank you very much. That was pretty comprehensive. Let's discuss the economics. Do you pay people for disposing of the material, and do you pick it up, or do they have to pay to give it to you?
Great question. So this CHaRM Center is free for Cook County residents, for anyone in the state of Illinois. So if you're in the state of Illinois, if you're in Cook County, this CHaRM Center, there is no cost to you. So please bring your materials. There is no cost to the residents of the state of Illinois and Cook County, okay?
Yeehaw, that's a great news.
Yeah, we're paying for this from the American Rescue Plan Act. So the American Rescue Plan Act is covering the expenses of the creation of the CHaRM Center, as well as the staffing and the maintenance of the CHaRM Center.
So it's been very difficult in the past to make recycling profitable, especially in the States. You know, Europe's done a pretty good job at it, but mainly because of policy and mandates. Will this funding run out, and will you have to change your business model as you go forward?
So the South Suburban College has agreed to continue this CHaRM Center when funding expires at the end of 2026. They're integrating this CHaRM Center in their curriculum and their daily budget operations. So this CHaRM Center is going to be a permanent location available to Cook County residents in perpetuity for free in perpetuity.
That's fantastic. So you mentioned quite a plethora of different materials that you accept, and most centers are very focused on paper, plastic, glass, maybe aluminum cans. What happens to these materials once they're collected, and how do you know that these are going to be sustainably managed? There's been a lot of reports about, you know, recycling not done well. So how do you give some confidence to the citizens that number one, these will be recycled and either upcycled or put into some better use, and two, that this what you say will be done will be done?
Great question. So the household recyclable materials that are going to be collected at the CHaRM Center, the papers, the plastics, the glass, the metals, the aluminum cans, those are going to be taken to diversified recycling, which is a material recycling facility, and a MRF. That's what we call them, a MRF, a material recycling facility. Their business model is to clean these products up, sort them, and they have contracted they have contracts with various businesses that will accept these materials and then recycle them. So that's their business model. If it doesn't work, they wouldn't be in business. And so we are in constant contact and communication with the diversified recycling facility that are going to be accepting our household recyclable materials and ensuring that what we give them actually does get recycled.
So are there third-party audits that take place? How do you know that that goes on?
Well, they provide us those documentations in terms of who's accepting these materials. So yes, we do audit that. But the CHaRM Center accepts so many different types of materials. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So for example, we have a dumpster for styrofoam. There are companies that we're working with the Foam Center, and they have contracts with a number of different companies that take the styrofoam, reprocess it, and make ceiling moldings, picture frames out of them, along with a whole bunch of sorts of other materials. So that's another example of how we're ensuring that these materials actually get back into either the economy or get into the hands of individuals who are in need. For example, PCs for People. They're a nonprofit organization that is going to be taking all of our electronic waste, cleaning them up, fixing them up, and then giving them to low-income families who can't afford computers and things of that nature.
Well,
So,
there's the old saying, one person's trash is another person's cash. And that's the real circular economy, is we throw so much away that has value. So it's nice on what you're doing here.
yes, thank you. So we're working really, really hard to make sure that we can proudly say that the vast majority of all the materials that come into the CHaRM Center will get recycled, repurposed, or reused in some form or fashion.
We did a story, about a year ago on a traditional recycling center in Denver, and they were using robots and artificial intelligence to sort plastic, glass, and paper waste. It was quite amazing. They looked like pogo sticks, and they took a job that most people don't want to do, that's dirty, smelly, and they let robots do it. Are you using any special technology in your operation?
We're not that advanced
Yet.
at the CHaRM Center. Yes, not at the CHaRM Center. The CHaRM Center it's really just we're looking at it as like a transfer station where essentially the residents bring their materials to the CHaRM Center, and then we send the materials to entities that we know for sure will repurpose, recycle, or reuse them. So the general household recyclables will go to diversified material recycling facility that sends the materials to companies that we know recycle. The PCs for People, the nonprofit, that they'll take our electronic waste, and they have a whole process of cleaning, fixing up, refurbishing various types of electronics, and then sending them back to low-income families. We have a company called Helping Hands. They're managing our clothing and textiles. And so they actually provide materials to families that are in need as well. And then the personal healthcare equipment, the small furniture and small appliances that we're accepting, we're sending them to the thrift stores, the homeless shelters that we know that have indicated to us they're in need of certain types of materials for their homeless populations, for their thrift stores and things of that nature.
So to summarize, if I understand this correctly, you're making it user-friendly for the constituents in Cook County to drop off a wide variety of waste, and then you're the intermediary between all these different sub-vendors that sort and recycle or upcycle that waste.
That's exactly what it is.
Well, that is great idea and something that's really highly needed. So something I've always wondered is, with all the things happening in the world, there's a lot of noise out there, there's a lot of concerns. How do you keep people excited and interested in recycling?
I think there's a deep hunger to want to do something to improve the environment. And so we're trying to make it easy for people to do it. I think once people understand how easy it is to be environmentally friendly, environmentally conscious, that they'll be more willing to participate in those actions. And so that's why we're trying to make the center as friendly and opening and inviting as possible. You know, we opened up on Earth Day, April the 22nd. It was raining. We had rain that day. We had snow that day. There was hail that day, high winds that day. And yet we had over 600 cars come throughout Cook County to the CHaRM Center, disposing of all these sorts of materials. We had over 6,000 tons of electronic waste that residents brought. We had over 1,000 pounds of clothes that residents brought to the CHaRM. So there is a deep need within the Cook County to dispose of these materials. And our job here is to make Cook County residents, Illinois residents know that this CHaRM Center exists and that we're wanting to partner with you to get these materials away from the landfill and our water systems.
That's a great answer, and it's a great point. I know the center's very young, but are there any funny stories or even sad stories you'd like to share about what people have brought to the center that maybe be amusing?
No, I was expecting a lot of strange things, but I haven't gotten them. What I haven't been made aware of anything, but the one thing that has surprised me the most is the amount of televisions residents want to dispose of. I was not expecting hundreds and hundreds of televisions that, you know, you can tell they were built in the 70s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, you know, the big bulky televisions. Right. So there's still all of these televisions that residents want to get rid of. And so that I'm glad the CHaRM Center exists so residents know that you don't have to, you know, pay $40 to dispose of it. Just bring it to the CHaRM Center when we're open, and we'll be able to accept those materials away from you for free.
Anthony, any closing thoughts you'd like to share with our listeners?
Please visit our website, you know, cookcountyil.gov/CHaRM Center. About, you know, we list off all the items that we accept, that we don't accept, the hours of operation. You know, we're open every Tuesday, every Thursday, and the second Saturday of every month. We're going to be doing a lot in the South Suburbs to improve the recycling and diversion rates of those municipalities. So we're going to be doing a lot of programming, a lot of events, and a lot of activities promoting sustainability, recycling, a circular economy, things of that nature. So we'll be updating our website periodically about all those different activities going on. And so we're here, we're just so excited to offer this opportunity for Cook County residents. So we really hope you take advantage of this CHaRM Center.
Well, I want you to keep your eye out for funny stories. We'll have you back on in a year to get an update on the progress you've made and hear some good stories of what's been tossed out.
Thank you so much, Robert, for having me.
Well, thank you for doing a very important job and sharing your thoughts on solving a complex issue on the GreenSense Show.
Thank you.
That's Anthony Tindall, the Cook County Department of Environment and Sustainability Solid Waste Coordinator of a very important place, the Center for Hard to Recycle Materials. I'm Robert Colangelo. Thank you for listening to GreenSense, and check out the GreenSense Minute every Thursday and Saturday on 105.9 FM, WBBM, Chicago. And visit the GreenSenseShow.com website to learn more about sponsorship.